Jolter Jammers have the advantage here. There's to see the bomber go over the rail. Macedo immediately called it off as he saw Lewis moving up. He took the safe point, and nobody gambling here late in the game. They're playing it close to their vest.
Very close, taking 1 point, not allowing the other team to come up and get the tying points, and the Jolters have quietly slipped into the lead by a point.
39-38, Jolters at the edge. Jammers moving up once again. Coming up on the 6-minute mark, halfway through the final period. Jolters, Frankie Macedo will go again, also outward to pivot home to Coach Alfonso Reyes, number 10. Jolters a double scoring threat. Bombers have Frank Apodaca and Mike Gammon out. They are a long way behind, and it's not at this point a factor here. McPherson to assist, blocking at the turn, back high, Macedo, Reyes in, Polinoff. Big play for the Jolters, Dave Eddie. 6 points, 3 by Reyes, 3 by Macedo. And the Jolters have taken a commanding lead here, 45-38 now.
The Bombers had 2 jammers out, but they were a long way back. And the Jolters, getting a block from Darnay McPherson, set up that play for 3 points for both Frank Macedo and Alfonso Reyes. Gives them a 7-point advantage.
5:35 on the clock in regulation time. The Bombers trailing now by 7 points. I might mention that this telecast is presented by authorization of the International Roller Skating League and in cooperation with DJL Sports Incorporated. Jolter Jammers now. Jolter's really controlling the front of that pack here in the final. Bomber Jammers, Mike Gammon and Larry Lewis up. The Bombers going to have a chance. This is when they're going to do it, when they got Gammon and Lewis out together. Dicing back and forth, Macedo the lead. Followed by Lewis. Lewis a whip, Gammon up. On the outside, Mike Gammon. Goal, that play for the Jolters.
Play was set up for the Jolters. Frank Macedo to score as Alfonso Reyes has gone into the pack and tied them up. But
let's watch this now. We've got 3 quick Bomber points. And oh, how sweet it is. Now, Lewis, instead of moving on Macedo, gives the whip. Now, Gammon on the outside. Macedo runs into the pack. Gammon runs into an upright, but he's got the points. 3 Bomber points, 45-41. The Bombers coming back, trailing now by 4. 4:15, the time remaining in regulation play. Our thanks to our director, Mr. Jim Reisinger, for the excellent coverage of today's action. Everybody on this crew, they've done a wonderful job today. Fans trying to get the Bombers up and moving here. They want to see a rally. Bombers trailing by 4 points. Bombers do what they have not been doing too much of here in the final period. They got the jammer out on top. Brad Lemkill, number 31. Jolter coach Alfonso Reyes going out in pursuit. Lemkill is maintaining his lead over Reyes. Lemkill running down that track. Bombers trailing by 4 points. Moving on the rear, Bill Thorne blocking. They got McPherson rail. It's called off. Bombers pick up 1, but they need more than that. 45-42. Bombers trail now by 3. We've got 3:15 left to go, and Dave Eddy, a point at a time at this point, I don't think is enough.
Lemkill that time really couldn't go for any more because Alfonso Reyes was coming up on Bill Droll, who was blocking at the back of the pack. But you're right, they're going to have to get him in bigger chunks than just 1.
3 minutes. 45 Jolters, 42 Bombers here at the Richmond Memorial Auditorium. Bombers need 3 to tie it up. They need 4 to get in the lead. Here we come. The Bombers have Larry Lewis up. He switch goes down, but he's back up. Gammon out. Alfonso Reyes on the chase. Mike Pfister on the chase. Gammon takes the shot, puts Reyes down. There's Larry Lewis in the lead. Gammon is taking Pfister out back there. Lewis the only jammer now. They got a point there. McPherson taken out. Lewis off the whip, comes up. Over the top of Pfister, he's got 2. Reyes is down. I don't know if Lewis got by or not. He calls it off. Jam over there all. He did not get by Reyes. There are only 2 Bomber points. 45-44. The Jolter lead cut to 1. 2 minutes now left in the game. Watch this replay.
Lewis getting good blocking at the back of the pack. Gets a whip from Apodaca. Goes down past one fallen skater. Tries to get by Alfonso Reyes, but just can't quite get by with the
Lewis thought he had that point over Reyes there.
I think so.
The crowd chanting here in Richmond now. A minute 35 on the clock. 45 Jolters, 44 Bombers. Bombers 1 to tie, 2 for the lead. There's Francine Cochu leading them down to the infield. Now, it's got to be now. 1:19 on the clock. But the Jolters have Frankie Macedo coming up. Apodaca blocking. Bombers to Jenner. 37 Louis Carabello out. Carabello gets the whip. Frank Apodaca with a pivot of it. Frank Macedo for the Jolters out. This could be the last play. It's under a minute. Macedo inside. Apodaca spun off the rail. Called off by Macedo. Good defensive strategy there. 45 seconds. Jolters leading by a point, 45-44. Macedo just shoot up a little time, called off. Now the Bombers have got to get this match back together. If they get a jam started, it will go the full minute, but they have got to get it started.
30 seconds left to go. Referee's trying to get the pack organized.
Won't go away at the end of this period because we will be back with interviews. 45 Jolters, 44 Bombers, 20 seconds. Alfonso Reyes gets a warning as he's taking his time getting back in the pack. Back together, 15 seconds. Bombers have to get the man off. They do. Larry Lewis, his jam goes all the way. Frank Apodaca gets the whip. 3 Bombers across the front. Roll Gavin and Lewis. Frank Apodaca. With all rests on Apodaca's shoulders now. 40 seconds, 40 in jam time. We're beyond the scoreboard here. Apodaca needs 1 to tie, 2 for the lead. Double block, Reyes and McPherson. Apodaca put down. Apodaca back up, double block. Put down again. The Jolters preventing the Bomber help from getting back. But we do have Gavin and Lewis moving on the jam. Gavin and Lewis. Up to the top. Apodaca prevents Johnson. Apodaca moving. Apodaca gets in. Five running out. And 5 Rays. I'm sure there are enough at least.
Not only was Apodaca in on the scoring, but I think Gammon and Lewis got by Alfonso Reyes. 6
points on that play. The fans on their feet here in Richmond now. 6 Bomber points. Let's watch the replay again. Here's Frank Apodaca into the double block. And you start to see Gammon and Lewis moving up there behind. Apodaca put down Gammon and Lewis up. They set up the points for Apodaca. Apodaca, now you see the blocking in the pack. Ferocious blocking by the Bombers. Apodaca gets 1 more for good measure over Alfonso Reyes, then calls it off. Stay with us. Interviews coming up. A come from...
The final score, the Bay Bombers 50 and the Jolters 45. Dave Eddy trackside with the victorious Bay Bombers. A tremendous jam at the end of the game to win it. Took blocking in the pack. It took the jammers and the pivot skater to get out to get 6 points to win it for the Bombers. And we have the successful Bombers here. Mike Gammon, who came out as one of the jammers on that play. Maybe you could describe that last play and also the success of the Bombers here today.
Any chances? We had everybody out that could score. Pivot man and both jammers. We figured out of the 3 of us, 2 of us had to score. Only 2 can score, actually, so it's the first one. So we just figured, well, somebody's going to get through.
Frank, you had a lot of action out there besides being on that last jam. You wore the pivot helmet quite a bit in this game.
Yeah, I did. And you know, with teammates like Larry and Mike and a coach like Bill, it makes it look easy for me out there. They helped me out a lot.
Larry hiding behind here. He's a one-tired gentleman. A lot of jams in that last period, including that last one that got the victory.
Yeah,
Mike's my motivation. I don't know about anybody else, but Mike is my motivation, and Mike pulls me right along like a magnet. Frank, he was great to work with, and Bill, as you know, is a good coach, and he coaches us right along.
Bill, as the coach of the Bay Bombers, you were in that pack blocking to get the points to be successful. Now we look ahead to your next match with the Midwest Pioneers.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, the Pioneers, every time we get together with the Pioneers, great game. These guys are really tough. Every year they're up there in the, either first, second place, all the way down the wire. They bring the best out of us. And with Mike and Larry, and Frank's coming on great now. I give him a lot of responsibility there with a pivot. He's got a lot of gut. And I'll tell you, that end of that game, Larry and Mike, they made it happen, really, because let me tell you something, they got around that track mighty fast, and I thought I could pull Frank through there pretty quick, but by God, Frank and Mike got there, and I'll tell you what, it was just like, blood and thunder, man. It was just, hey, we pulled it out.
Bill Grove, thank you very much. Bay Bombers, successful win. They'll take on the Midwest Pioneers in the next outing. Final score, Bay Bombers 50 and 45 for the Jolters. Dave Eddy for Ken Councilman, Stu Gans on the IRSL Special Madison Square Garden Network.